What defines DNA in a company? Especially in larger companies, once there is a particular DNA that is set in, it's very difficult to change from that. The company becomes somewhat rigid in certain dimensions. In very simple terms, DNA refers to the intuition the leadership team has when it comes to a particular area. And intuitions are often shaped by past experiences. So you'll find a correlation between where they came from, what have they done in their past, and what their DNA is now. So it may seem absurd when I say YouTube doesn't really have a video creation DNA. You'd be like, what are you talking about? YouTube is literally the biggest video platform in the world. But they actually do not have a creation DNA. They are excellent at distribution and ads and monetization, but they're not great at creation technologies. So let's take a look at this from the very top. At the very beginning, YouTube was started as a place to distribute video content more easily at a time when different codecs were creating issues about how people received videos and how they were able to view it. So it was never about creation to begin with. You created a video offline, however you created it. This was a place to upload your video content and make sure that anyone who has the link can actually view the video irrespective of the format in which it was uploaded. So going all the way back to the founders, they never had a creation DNA to begin with. The founders were fairly young people when they started YouTube. So it's possible that if YouTube kept going without selling to Google and the world evolved in the way it did with videos, it's possible that they would have developed a creation DNA. This happens a lot in startups. But after Google bought YouTube, they doubled down on distribution and monetization. Susan initially was the CEO. She never had any video DNA. And then now you have Neil Mohan as CEO, who came from DoubleClick, which was an ads platform. Again, he brings the ads and distribution DNA, not quite the video DNA. Much of the YouTube leadership team then came from ads and search within Google and externally from Amazon, which also didn't have any creation DNA. When companies are self-aware that they don't have a particular DNA, especially in a critical area, they will go higher for it. For example, TikTok hired a lot in the early days from YouTube in order to acquire that advertising and distribution DNA. However, YouTube never turned around and did that for creation. When the different layers of leadership lack that particular DNA, it's very difficult for a company to execute in that direction, and oftentimes they end up failing there. This is what's going on with YouTube and creation. This is just one example. We can take several companies and analyze, and we'll find what DNA is very strong versus what is lacking.